Hello, this is Victor from blackpiscesproduction, and if you saw my latest video, you know what we are going to do today. If you haven't seen it yet, click the pop-up in the upper right corner. Today, we are going to watch the first part of my latest video together. I will pause the video when something interesting or important happens, and I will explain exactly what is happening, as well as how and why I did that. You can download the final mix and the final bass and guitar tone presets via the link in the description. Without further ado, let's get started. First of all, I want you to realize that the playing is tight. These tracks were not edited, I just recorded them and left them like this. It could be even tighter with editing, but this is enough to get a tight and punchy guitar and bass tone. I have to stress one really important thing. If your playing isn't tight enough, you won't ever get a tight sound. Let me repeat it. If your playing isn't tight enough, you won't ever get a tight sound. It doesn't matter if you're using amp sims or fancy tube amps. The most important thing is your playing. So keep practicing to get to a point where you can play a riff almost exactly the same way every single time. This will help you get massive and tight sounding guitars. The second point I want to stress is the importance of the DI signal quality. If your DI signal is clipping, it doesn't have any transients, or it has too much noise, you won't be able to get a tight and clean sound out of it, no matter what you do. So you should solve every problem at the beginning, at the source. This way, you will have a better starting point and more potential to reach your desired sound. I started the session with finding a bass tone. I knew that I wanted to have distortion on the high end of the bass signal, but I didn't need any distortion on the low end of the bass. So I separated these parts of the signal to be able to process the low end and the high end individually. I tried to find a crossover frequency that I thought would work in the context and added a little compression. This is just the start of creating our bass tone. I added an amp to distort the higher part of the bass signal, but I heard too much lower mid-range in it, so I added an EQ and started hunting down the frequencies I didn't like. I changed the amps mode to modern, this way I will get more distortion. Don't be afraid, in modern metal and even in modern rock productions you can have lots of distortion on your bass track. It will help the bass guitar cut through in a dance mix. I EQ'd the bass even more with the Edit 7-band EQ and the Amp Sims EQ section too. I added a compressor to tame the transients of the signal before hitting the amp. This way I will get a more balanced and even sounding distortion throughout the whole song. I set the low end and the high end part of the bass sound to be approximately around the same level. This will make the blending process quicker because we won't have to make big volume adjustments. I tried moving the microphone to get a slightly smoother sound. I blended the two parts of the bass guitar sound together and adjusted their volumes in context. I wanted to have enough low end in the mix, but I also wanted the distorted part of the sound to be heard. Then I did a quick A/B of the plugin. I made some EQ adjustments on the distorted part in context, revised the volumes of the blended parts, and called it a day. I created the rough bass tone in under 5 minutes. This tone will be a good starting point and it will be pretty easy to mix because it was created for this exact situation. The best part is that I used the cheap Harley Benton B550 5-string bass guitar and the sound we created is great. It's not the best bass sound in the world, but it doesn't even have to be if it works in the mix, and that's the point. Thank you for being here. We will continue watching the real-time mixing in the next video. If you learned something new, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button and leave a comment. You can support me on other platforms too, links are in the description. See you next time.